Hello, my classy people. It is Wednesday, the 28th of May. My question to the community is, where are all the 3-year-old Colts? My. Hey, listen, I really haven't been paying too much of attention. I'm ready to dial in. But the 2025 Belmont Stakes, from what I see right now, there's nothing attractive about that stake race, okay? Third leg of the Triple Crown, right now in a field of 6. Some could argue 3 of them shouldn't be in the race in terms of probabilities. Not that they're not horses. I'm glad that they are because you get 6. But my question to you is, where are all the 3-year-old Colts? I mean, does Churchill Downs live a charmed life? They get all the prep races to the first jewel of the Triple Crown, right? They get all the buzz, all the media, all the attraction. 2 weeks out from the Kentucky Derby, there's 20 horses that are in and 5 on the waiting list, if not more, hoping to get in, right? 25 horses. These are Colts with enough points up to number 20, right down to 25. Shipping to Churchill, hoping somebody defects so they could scratch it. And 3 weeks later, Belmont Stakes, third jewel. 3 weeks today. 5 weeks overall. You can't get 6 3-year-old Colts to run. Now, even the Colts that don't have enough points are close to being on the bubble come Derby weekend. Nobody shows up. I said it once, I say it again. They don't breed them to race them. They race them to breed them. Again, there's nothing attractive that's going to attract people to the sport if nobody competes. They're too busy, right? Individually, not collectively, the connections. Individually, doing what's best for their horse. I get it. But at some point, they have to stop managing the resume of the equine, right? Ducking this one, ducking that one because they want black type for breeding purposes, which hurts the game overall. Nobody comes to compete. You can look historically over the last 10 years and probably further where we don't get to see our good 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, God forbid if they race at 4, okay, race anymore, okay? I mean, the flight lines, My Horse, Authentic, I mean, they 6, 7, they're done. Why? Because they can make more money in the breeding shed, right? And so this year's 2025 Belmont Stakes, as of now, we know about Sovereignty, the Derby winner. We know about journalism. Our hat is off to his connections because not only did he run in the Derby, he says, I'll show up 2 weeks later, and it looks like he's going to show up maybe for the Belmont Stakes, right? He hasn't committed yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they ducked that race. Why? Well, they ran second in the Derby. They won the Preakness. Do you know what that looks like on his resume in the breeding shed? So now they start to campaign these horses for Pacific Race for their resume. Not to compete, not to see if I'm better than you or let's have some fun and, like the Knicks and the Indiana Pacers, let's play the game. Okay, so again, if the sport, and just one man's opinion, right? A guy that loves the game and been playing it for 50 years. If we're going to prosper the game and make the game attractive, then we got to do something to make them compete. I just don't know how 3 weeks later you can't get a field of 10 in the third leg of the Triple Crown. Okay? It's just astonishing to me, right? It's just 3.5 weeks ago, we had 20 definitely in with the point system and 5 sitting on the outside hoping somebody defects so they can get in to run for the first leg of the Triple Crown. So as of now, in my opinion, The Triple Crown is only attractive in leg number 1, the first jewel. Okay, we cut the field in half when we get to the Preakness. Only 2 or 3 of the Derby horses that ran in the Derby shows up at the Preakness, and new shooters show up because they get a chance to get black type and money. And come Belmont Stakes, everybody runs scared. So my question to you is, where are all the 3-year-olds? I mean, Todd Pletcher's got 2 beautiful 3-year-olds, Grande, and I think he got the Curdo, Curdo. Nice colt. Look like he has a future. But I'd love to see him get Grande in here as well. I'd love to see a few more show up. Okay? Again, Hills Road, who's one of the entries. Again, the probability is that he's not going to beat all of the top 4 horses. He might beat 1 or 2 of them, but the probabilities go way high. And as far as Heart of Honors, well, probably 40, 30, 40 to 1. So one can argue from where I sit, in the current state of 6 horses, 2 of them is really would be up against it to beat the remaining 4 in some facet. So there's your superfecta currently. Now that could change. But right now, we don't even know if journalism going to run. Who, again, we got a lot of respect for the connections because they showed up. Okay, and they're looking to compete. Okay, if they decided to skip the Belmont Stakes, I wouldn't be mad at them because they did something nobody else was willing to do other than Sandman, is to come back in 2 weeks. And not only did they come back, they won the race. And of course, I always have a little fun with journalism, calling them the reporter horse. But just nothing but the highest respect for that connection, and obviously for the equine, because he's a talented horse. And you always got to find somebody to have some fun with if you do what we're doing here podcast-wise and stuff. So my question is, where are all the 3-year-olds, y'all? Now, that being said, the girls are going to be in town. I think Friday's card, the Acorn Day, Friday, the 6th of June, is a much better and attractive day for wagering. Now, the horse fan, of course, we're all going to watch the races. But if we're interested in wagering, to me, there is a full slate on Friday of Philly, and everybody know I love Philly racing because Phillies have a tendency to show up and have bigger fills, right? And on the turf, and it's very competitive. There's races like the Bed of Roses with Scarlett in it, Carmelina, and Emery, the Belmont Gold Cup, the 2-mile race. Hey, Grand Sonata's probably going to show up there, right? That girl, that's a boys' race. Of the 6 graded races on Friday, 5 of them are fillies. You also got the Acorn, the 3-year-old girls that are in town, and they're just loaded for bear. Nine horses in there. Good Cheer, the Godolphin Runner, La Cara, Bella Dior, Look Forward, Take Charge Me Lady, Bless the Broken. Ray, Friday's card, to me, is so much better than Saturday's card, right? In terms of wagering, having full fills. The Just a Game Stakes, right? In that race for fillies, 1 mile, of course, is on the turf. And that monster's in there, Sacred Wish, who's cross-entered into the $750,000 New York Stakes, right? Sacred Wish is in there. And then you got the Ogden Phillips Phipps Stakes, right? The grade 1 Ogden Phillips Stakes with Rage and Sea and a bunch of talented fillies. So, again, we have to pick our spots, not from a fan standpoint. We want to watch all of them, probably. But from a wagering standpoint, to me, the Friday card is so much more attractive than Saturday's card. Now, Saturday does have 8 graded stake races, 2 of them only being filly races. And one of the 2 filly races, only 1 is graded. And I think that's I don't know what race that is, that's graded. Let me see real quick. On Saturday, The filly race right there, filly and mare. That filly race that's filly and mare is no, not that one. The Wonder Again Stakes, right? For fillies for 300,000. But my question to you folks is, it baffles me. Where are all the 3-year-old colts? I mean, it was just 3.5 weeks ago where we had a waiting list to get into the first leg of the jewel, and 3.5 weeks later, which would be 5 when it's time to race, we can't get 5 to show up. Stunning. So, hey, I just want to put it out. Let's have a healthy discussion about the Belmont Stakes just not attractive. Not this year. Not to me. Now, from a fan's perspective, we'll handicap the race and that. But a wagering standpoint, ain't nothing attractive. About a competitive standpoint, nothing attractive about that race. 5 horses. Well, 6 horses, and we're not sure if journalism is going to run. Now, there's a chance a couple will come in. I hope Pletcher, who has 2 nice 3-year-olds, show up with that Grandy. That's a nice horse, who ran second in the Wood Memorial. And he's got that Curdo, right? For Curdo, Curdo. So there it is, folks. I mean, let's have a discussion. Where are all our 3-year-old babies? They were all kicking the door down 3 weeks ago, hoping to scratch in. Now we can't get them to show up. We can't get a field of 8? Wow. You mean to tell me up in New York, they're going to have more horses in the Preakness than we have at the Belmont? I mean, New York. This is, if you make it there, you can make it anywhere. Let's have a discussion about it. Just having a little fun here. Got some time on my hand, and we're going to dial into some profiles of the Belmont Stakes soon enough. But to me, Friday, June 6th, 6 graded stake races. 5 of them are fillies. Fields are full. Competitive. Right? And usually filly races are pretty evenly matched. So you're going to get some prices, like that. It ain't lopsided. And typically they're not ducking each other. Right? Maybe that's why I like filly racing and mare racing much more than I do colts. Okay? I know there's more money on that side until we come to breeding. Then everybody want to lean on the mares. Right? Because that's really where it's made. But anyway, where are all our 3-year-old colts? Huh? Can't find them with a search warrant. Nothing's attractive about this year's Belmont Stakes. Currently on the 28th of May. Yeah, so sovereignty. Oh, we know what that is. Journalism. Oh, we know what that is. The wise guy horse. Basil or Baeza. Well, we know what that is. He still didn't do anything but win a maiden race. So he's just going to be taking, money. Can he win the race? I guess. He never won nothing but a maiden race, if you ask me. I mean, but I don't make things difficult. Hill Road, he ain't did nothing. Heart of Honor, my long shot play, right, from overseas somewhere, right, by Honor AP. He ain't do anything. Wow. Handicapping like that looks like the only one that have a chance to be journalism or sovereignty would be the son of Authentic, Rodriguez. No, he didn't. I just said it. All things being equal, go ahead and tip your mitt, Mr. SpeedKing. Nobody else enters right now. Fill the 6 with the ones we know. Sovereignty, journalism, Baeza, Rodriguez, Hill Road, Heart of Honor. If the gate race was today and it was those 6, well, only one that could beat journalists and sovereignty would be Rodriguez. I can tell you that right now. He would be my top pick. Hands down. That's how easy to handicap that race. And I ain't even go through my data yet. I ain't even punch it up. Right? One, sovereignty is going to be unbettable. Journalists, if he shows up, and you can't be mad at the connection if they don't, he's going to be overbet Because everybody think he's better than Sovereignty, who's sitting there fresh, fit, and fast, the Billy Mott, the Dolphin runner. But they're going to be too short. Other than being a fan, rooting for one of your favorite horses, that's different than if you're making a wager. Because you need value, right? Reward versus risk, ROI, return on my investment. But currently, you can put the SpeedKing down if nothing changes. The 6 horses that are currently in right now, Rodriguez would be the horse to bet. No, he didn't. I'm just telling you. I looked at what I'm just telling. I ain't even got my final data yet, and I know that much. And by the way, all the people that think Rodriguez needs to be on the lead, you're so wrong, right? This horse is bred so beautifully, top and bottom, over distance, right? This horse can track and be in second or third and kill these horses from a stamina standpoint. That's a fact. Even my folks horse, the Dolphin. So if all things remain the same, I wonder who SpeedKing like with these 6 right here. Easy peasy. Rodriguez crushes them. Now, I wouldn't say crushing them, but, he would be the horse. One, they're going to bet Baeza lower than they do Rodriguez. Okay, but they are traveling over 10 furlongs. And you're talking about from a bloodline and a pace standpoint and anywhere on the racetrack, the right horse would be Rodriguez currently. Well, I just tipped my mid. But my thoughts are going to be on Friday. All right, that's where I'm going to be. So for all you people that want tip sheets, you better get Friday's car because it's a better. Now, Saturday's got some nice races in there. Don't get it twisted. They got the Metropolitan up in there and all those other races. But the Belmont Stakes ain't nothing attractive about that. The Acorn Stakes, please, that's a good race. The Acorn is so much better than the Belmont Stake race. There you go, on and on. Anyway, I tipped my mid a little bit. If the current entries right now stays and nobody's added, Rodriguez is the horse. Over Godolphin, well, Godolphin's going to show up. They're fresh, fit, and fast, and it's Billy Mott. Well, you don't think he fresher than, he's going to show up. My name is Wayne Bolden. I'm the SpeedKing. Where are our 3-year-olds? He's just rambling now. I just gave you the Belmont winner, if nothing changes. And I ain't even do all my stuff yet in my database. I ain't do all my stuff yet. No. But I know enough about these horses, which we all should. Right? Where have all our 3-year-olds gone? 3 weeks ago, we couldn't get enough of them lined up. Now, we can't find them with a search warrant. Nothing attractive about the Belmont Stakes. Friday, June 6th. Be there. The girls, they're going to be back in town.